It is here at the Laikipia Air Base north of Nairobi that the US wants to open a quarantine facility for Americans exposed to the Ebola virus. But a Kenyan court has temporarily suspended establishment of the 50-bed facility. The ruling follows a petition from a rights group demanding more transparency from the government over the arrangement.
At its core, the case is about preserving constitutional accountability, protecting public health, and ensuring that no government may place expediency above the lives and safety of the people of Kenya.
We cannot and will not allow any cases of Ebola to enter the United States.
The Trump administration had planned to have the facility operational by Friday. And while Kenyan authorities had not explicitly confirmed the agreement, they had sought to assure the public that any international request would comply with domestic law. But the prospect of Americans arriving to Kenya from the virus-struck Democratic Republic of Congo has faced backlash.
Why would you create a facility in my country and it doesn't serve me? Yet the same facility is going to host people who are endangering my own life. Yet if I end up contacting Ebola, God forbid, I can't be taken care of.
Americans think that their lives are so much important than the lives of Kenyans. So that they establish a facility in Kenya that is meant for only Americans.
Hello my people, as you can see in that short video clip that US want to introduce medical apartheid in Kenya, you know, and they use Ebola as a excuse, you know what I mean? That's what they do, you know. They treat Africa like, you know, we are still in 1500, like Africa is still under the colonial masters. That's what it is, you know what I mean? How do you want to set up a quarantine space in Kenya and it's just for US citizens? You know what I mean? This is too bad. You know, this shouldn't be allowed to happen in the first place. And I must say that I'm very disappointed that the government, the politicians over there in Kenya allow them to even set up these facilities, you know, because as you can see in that short video clip that the facilities are already in place. You know what I mean? You know, and the thing is, why this is apartheid, a medical order, is that if you're a Kenyan, something in your country, you're not allowed to go there. It's only for the Americans to go there and do quarantine for those that have this Ebola. You know what I mean? And this is what the West want you to see. They want you to see that this Ebola is like the worst disease that ever inflicted human being. You know what I mean? I know Ebola is dangerous, but it's not the worst disease that ever afflicted human being. You know what I mean? It's not even, you can compare it with COVID-19. You know, COVID-19 killed many people. You know what I mean? But Ebola, the number of people that die under Ebola is not, you know, in comparison with COVID-19. And you see what this Secretary of State Marco Rubio was saying in that short clip, that we don't want anyone to bring this Ebola in US. They want to treat their citizens in another man's country. And you know, and the thing is that these people, they don't even know when, you know, they don't know when they overplay their hands, you know. And they see that some of the Kenyans they are awake, you know what I mean? They are alert, you know. They don't want stuff like that to happen in their country. You know, this is the same thing that happened recently in Jamaica, that the Chinese, when they build a hotel, that you know, if you're Jamaican, you cannot lodge in that hotel. You can do that can lodge there is the those from dominant society and the Chinese, you know. And the whole hotel was set in place, and the Jamaican did the right thing, you know what I mean? You can't come to somebody's country and bring this kind of division, you know, because that's what it is, you know. This is racism in the highest order. Even though they will, like in Kenya, the Americans will still furnish their excuses and say, oh, look, we're treating everybody. The black Americans, if they have COVID, they get treated there. But we don't care about how Americans treated them. What we care is that if you're gonna put facilities down in somebody's country, it should be for everyone. If not, you go and buy an island and do stuff like that. Or you quarantine people in America. Just build a space in America that once they come down from airport, they will go straight to the quarantine place, the facilities, not to do this in a third world country, like Kenya, and this have been what this dominant society keep doing because they know that some of our politicians in Africa are very corrupt, Because if they're not very corrupt, who gave them permission, the plan to start building these facilities, because you want hard currency. You want hard currency, you just approve even stuff that that is not good for your people, and this is very disappointing. You know what I mean? It's very, very disappointing. I think in the future, the politicians, African politicians, should consider things better, not just to put their own selfish interests and this love for money, wealth, so that they can be bought. This is what's happened. And I think the court should make this permanent, not temporary order to block it. They should be permanently. If this facility is not going to be open for everyone, it shouldn't be open at all. And I love that they go through the court to do that, because this the West will always push their fake democracy on Africa. Court system. But now they see that it's court order. They can't blame anyone. That's how Africa should be playing with these people. Peace.